that you've been dealing with, you're supposed to have a trusted tax preparer, right? You can always go to your tax preparer and ask those questions. That way you won't be led astray by something that you may have came across on Instagram or Facebook or whatever options you have on the internet, and I always tell people, don't believe everything you read, especially when it comes from the internet, like Facebook and things like that, because some people get worked up about things some people post, and then they be calling, oh, well, such and such said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Did you hear from the IRS? Because I promise you, if it's in stone, the IRS knows about it.
When it comes to filings, some people go years without filing, and some people say, hey, man, as long as you don't file, they won't garnish you. They can't get your money. But the minute you do file, after years of not filing, that's when they're going to get you. What's the grace period when it comes to filing any taxes?
That is a total good question. That is. Oh my God. So many people say that because they don't be worried about filing their taxes. And then they get these when you do file, and then your taxes are delayed because now the IRS has sent that letter that says you need to file years such and such and such and such before we
back.
That is correct, but usually on an individual tax return, the regular 1040 that you file, normally the date for that is due by April 15th, right? They have filing extensions. If you can't file by that date and you request an automatic 6-month extension, which moves your filing deadline to October 15th, right? To get it, the extension, a lot of people don't know you have to submit the form 4868, by the original April deadline, okay? And it's important. This is an extension to file, not an extension to pay. A lot of people get that confused too. This is an extension to file, not an extension to pay, right? Any taxes owed are still due by April 15th, to avoid interest and penalties, right? So, and then like the IRS may give a short grace period for mailed payments postmarked by the deadline, long as it has that postmark by that deadline for those affected by, if you had a natural disaster or something like that going on. But generally payments after the due date begin to accrue interest right away, when it comes to the IRS. So some taxpayers like military members serving in combat zone or disaster area resident automatically receive extended filing and payment deadlines, as well. But the bottom line to everything, you can buy yourself some extra time to file, but not extra time to pay. You file early, plan ahead, and if you're unsure, talk to your tax preparer before your deadlines hit. That's very important.
Right on. Well, Joyce, I appreciate that. And everybody out there, there's some real good news you can use.